tell us what the future is for Hollywood Impact Studios, as well as the newsletter that you put out.
My wife started a magazine called Hollywood Impact Magazine that we're also looking for writers and information in. Hollywood Impact Studios, as I say, we're starting our third semester there at the Peter Pitches Detention Center. Our next phase is to go to Nickerson Gardens in South Central Los Angeles to start a similar program, and then hopefully at some point reach out to veterans. Again, I have a full-time job, so I can only do so much, but I've got some great volunteers, some of which are in the audience, and I just really thank them for coming alongside. I'm not doing this by myself, doing it with a lot of help.
So at this point, we can open it up to some questions. If you have questions, you know, raise your hand. We'll come and stick the mic in your face. If you could move to the edge of the aisle, that would help.
Thank you. Hi, Gary. My name is David Rakelin.
Hi, David.
Hi. Thanks so much for coming. It's inspiring to hear you speak. You clearly have a lot of experience in doing quality programs with limited time and limited budget. What are some pointers on what's reasonable to start with to do in 168 hours?
I think just like in our television shows or anything else, those that have the most pre-production seem to do the best. Now I know you can't write the script until you get the verse, but at least trying to have your team organized, have as much as you can have organized ahead of time, I guarantee will help you.
Two quick questions. The first one, what was the name of your movie?
It's Stringer or Primetime Murder. Primetime Murder's home entertainment. Stringer was another title when it was on HBO.
Okay. The other question is, in your line of work, have you ever had to, let's say, quit or demand that something goes against your faith or that you don't morally agree with?
There have been projects in my past that I have not believed in, and unfortunately I didn't have the authority to nix them. So one of them in particular I really felt was an awful product, and I prayed against it, and we did the pilot, but it didn't get picked up. So that's what I tend to do.
So you're not only dealing with TV shows, but also with pilots that get made, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And tell us a little bit about that process.
Well, we're getting ready to go into that. That is, we're doing all of the pilots for the fall season. As I said, we'll probably do between 15 and 20 of them. They are usually twice as expensive as any individual episode. There's a lot at stake. There's a lot more egos involved, more money, and a lot less time. Everybody, all of the major studios in Hollywood are all competing for the same talent during that period between February and we deliver our pilots usually the end of April, first week in May. So it's like a race from now until the first week in May.
So that's quite a bit more work for you.
Yes, it is. That's why the third semester at Pitches is the detention center is going to be a little different, because I really can't be there near as much as I've been in the past.
Thanks for coming. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
So you said your title is VP of Post-Production?
Yes, Senior VP of Post-Production.
Okay. Because I guess the conversation in my brain needs clarification, because it sounds like you're in production.
Well, I started my career in production
Okay.
as an assistant director trainee, but quickly realized my end goal, and those of you that are beginning in the business, I think it's important to at least have an end goal. Whether you reach it or not, I don't know. Mine was always as a writer and a producer. And each time I was offered a job, I said, will it get me closer to being a writer, or will it get me closer to being a producer? And the answer was no. Being an assistant director trainee, I enjoyed my 100 days. I needed 400 days to become a second. But I realized I could not write anything and work those hours. So I opted to go back into the mailroom. Everybody thought I was crazy because I took a pay cut. But ultimately, that ended up getting my career restarted in post-production.
So what does your average day look like?
What is my, well, every day is a little different. My job is I budget the post-production on every single series we do. I hire everybody on every single show we have. I make sure they stay on schedule. I end up being the middleman between our shows and the network. Sometimes I have to fight for one thing or another between the network and the shows. I have to stay up on new technology. One of the things I'm doing tomorrow with somebody back there is going to a camera test. I'm trying to stay up on the newest digital technology. 20th Century Fox Television this last year went from shooting all film shows to now only shooting 2. 24 and Glee are only 2 shows that are shot on film. All of the rest are shot digitally on any number of cameras out there. So I have to try and stay up on that technology. So a lot of my job is involves technology, because production, I found out quickly that if I don't stay on top of it, production will go, hey, that camera's a lot cheaper, let's use that. And then I've got to worry about trying to post-produce it and sell it all over the world. I also work very closely with International to sell our shows all over the world, as well as our older product, getting it out on home entertainment to sell. As I told my boss one day, I just lost my temper a little bit. I said, how many hours did you spend on Fall Guy today? He said, Fall Guy? That show's been off the air for years. I go, I know it has, but I'm working on it right now to get it ready for home entertainment. So shows never go away.
Okay, we got one right here.
Yeah, thank you once again. You're very inspiring. 2 questions. One is, throughout your career, had you found that you wanted to be a writer, but yet you kept getting other offers? Did you find that praying for what you wanted versus what you're getting, did you find that you're going in the right direction by what you were praying for or what you were wanting for? And then I'll follow up after you.
That's a good question. I look back on my career and I don't have any regrets. I have been able to sell scripts because I was in post-production. I don't know, had I maybe prayed harder and relied more on God and not taken certain opportunities, maybe I would have made it further as a writer. There were several times when I wrote scripts and I thought, should I get an agent and really pursue this? And maybe I took the safer route by staying in post-production. But again, I look back at it and I don't have any regrets. I feel like God had me selling the scripts at the time, but had me taking this career path now. So I don't have any regrets.
Okay, thank you. Relying on God, great point. My next thing is you had stated that you didn't feel as though producing TV was saving lives. I just wanted to say I kind of disagreed with you, because there are a lot of people out there who become cops, doctors, lawyers because of these shows.
Okay.
And I personally want to thank you for all the work you've done, because it's inspired me
that.
to do what I want to do with my life.
I appreciate that a lot.